Did make a lot more noise than originally expected, so I feel like in the essence of rushing here and trying to get through Zot at a relatively decent pace here, I of course have done the opposite, which is so often the case. I will just blast you for the moment there, my friend. Ooh. And then I have to get the heck out of the way. Again, I respect the initiative to just start flinging the Orbs of Destruction at a moment's notice. Thank you for that, my Spellforged friend. But on the other hand, that was, just slightly terrifying. Just a smidge. But hopefully, now that I think about it, we can actually get a nice cloak here, because that's something this character is still severely lacking. Is any kind of meaningful cloak here. So only time will tell. We shall see. Oh my gosh, it just continues. Oh my. I keep being about to say out loud, well, okay, that's gotta be the majority of our new friends dealt with, right? Lo and behold, such is not the case by any stretch of the imagination. Instead, we are left in an endless battle. And sure, I'll Polar Vortex. Will murder my own friend, but such sacrifices must be made. It will also kill the Moth of Wrath before they enrage any dragons. Oh, never mind. They're still alive. There's still the chance that my life is ruined here. So let's give it a moment. No, okay, it looks like we took care of them. Fantastic. And we'll just back away from the trouble spot for now. In fact, we'll play this slightly safer than I originally was alluding to, and we will actually at least come to this stairwell, seeing as how we've made that other one essentially the danger zone. Didn't know until this moment that was indeed what the song was referring to the entire time. Speaking of the Highway 2, of course. And perfect. Hey K-Man, how's it going? Also, all of our stairwells are here. Okay, there's one off the tippy top, which I'd probably like to go to, just because I'm sure this entire section is a nightmare of all sorts of exciting new friends. But in the essence of some moderate modicum of safety, let us take a step back. What do I actually have here at my disposal? Oh, I can reach out and grab you. That's actually probably just the right call. And then I actually want to take a step back just because I didn't want to be taking fire from our Quicksilver friend and these Sons of Guns all at once. At the very least, fire is kind of our element, so not too unhappy to see those kiddos here, but that could have gone a hell of a lot worse. And I guess it's not too late for that to still be the fact, so let's not rest on our laurels, cannot start counting eggs, as it were, until we've blown this son of a gun sky high. And that should at least have called a lot of the old attention that we brought on ourselves here down that direction. So that is wonderful. And this is a Polar Vortex. If I ain't ever seen one, perfect. Or at least as good as it gets. Probably slightly more dangerous than it needed to be, but that's fine. Going for another character after this one. In general, definitely. Tonight, no, unfortunately not. We are already quite a bit over time on my expected schedule for this evening. But hopefully, this son of a gun makes it through in one piece, and that's not a a problem that we'll have to address in the future. You know what, let's actually take you upstairs. Again, there's no real need to get too fancy about things, so let's play it safe. And just make sure that we're getting through in one piece. I mean, Damnation is definitely going to do its best to prevent that, especially as I accidentally hit the wrong key completely. Oh no. Oh, how quickly the turns table here. Let us read a fear scroll. At least most of the Draconians should back off, or not at all. That's cool too. We already have okay damage outputs. The question becomes, do I just heal? Probably. Of course, yeah, that does compound with the Makhleb heal to suddenly give us a much better position overall. Holy, but Tiamat and friends, no thank you. I will instead just head another direction, and in fact, oh me oh my, Tiamat alone, not the end of the world. We do have Maxwell's capacitive coupling, of course. Chances are the next stairwell we try to go down will bring us here. None of this is great. And in my haste to get through this in a reasonable amount of time, we find ourselves needing to instead just back up, reassess, reevaluate, and try again. That's fine. It actually looks like we brought the attention of the majority of the monsters of this floor to ourselves above. I almost feel sorry for the ghost moth. Normally such a threat to our very existence, and today merely a shadow of their former selves. And that should just about do the trick. And hopefully we find ourselves in a slightly more salvageable position as we go down one of these other stairwells. Oh me oh my. You know, I was confused by all the doors of this vault section being broken when we did our magic mapping. I assumed it was just some artifact of the Revelation scroll. It was just accidentally filling them in incorrectly, but never mind. That turns out to be the truth of the matter after all. Okay, Torment could definitely ruin our day, but that's fine. Holy moly. I didn't realize Djinni counters Ghost Moth. That's awesome. They're such a pain in the rear. No kidding. Any other character. I guess any other caster character, if we really want to caveat things correctly, but regardless, needless to say, what it all boils down to is that they definitely suck. That much is fair to say. But no sweat off our back here at the moment. And hopefully we don't attract quite as much attention to our new stairwell here. It's already looking like we're making new friends, so I wouldn't be surprised if Tiamat also decided this was a lovely time to say hello. Please give me at least time to regen. Fantastic. And, ooh, that's not a real stairwell. That's not going to work for me. This one is, right? Okay, let's head up this direction. Let's go quickly, cautiously, carefully, respectfully. All the important qualifiers for any journey through Zot here. And this is where Wand of Digging. Fantastic. And let's just do a quick peek into all these side corridors, make sure we're not leaving anything too terrifying at our back. And I do unfortunately have a sneaking suspicion. Marcus. Let's get the mark coming down on us there. Do you want, let's take you kiddos upstairs. Almost definitely. And gosh darn it, do I need to find another stairwell? Is this our lot in life, to forever jump between different options? It definitely seems to be the case. But unfortunately, a mark trap bringing everything down on our heads there is not exactly the ideal situation for our continued survival, especially when I've already decided to skip out on optional experience. You know, we could go clear elf and leave ourselves in a safer spot, but I said nay, and now I must live with the repercussions of my decisions. Spellport Servitor, could you just stay out of IMP range? I feel like we could all be happy here. And you know what? Unfortunately for you, my Spellforged friend, I am gonna start just blasting the ever-living crap out of everyone in the remote vicinity. Fantastic. Oh me, oh my. So we have this stairwell here, of course, relatively close to all of the friends that I'm sure are gathering. Malevolent Force gives me Essential Mark on this stairwell, too. Oh, to what do I owe the pleasure? What a series of events this game has decided to thrust us into today. Fantastic. Unfortunately, my Spellforged friend is also not in a very great position for my continued blasting there, so maybe we should actually just reset. And do so with some amount of caution. Let's not be silly here. And then this will of course cascade into fighting everything and anything that we left behind. Ooh, but I will check out your cloak. No, just +1, so we don't need to change that now. Oh, Jesus. Welp. Once more with feeling. Ooh, the progenitor. That's cool. They're, again, new enough that they're exciting. Even if I'm not actually sure how I will fare against them. And speaking of how I will fare against stuff, an enraged Quicksilver dragon is probably gonna be a no-go from me. Will I have much of a choice the next time I come down? No promises. I guess the one big advantage here is that secondary alarm trap probably cleared these stairs. Where the Red Roach come from, so that the progenitor, when you kill them, scatters into a bunch of shape-shifting mounds, like the one that we saw in front of us that I was launching Orbs of Destruction against. I didn't realize they come out hasted and mighted, so that's an interesting revelation, to say the least, but I do believe that that is where that son of a gun came from. Please, Orb Destruction. Perfect. Killed the Moth of Wrath before they have a chance to infect any of the dragons in the vicinity here. Fantastic. Ooh. And excuse me, sir? No, you're not the person that we left behind. Interesting. Well, all is all right that goes all right. Ooh, I don't like these sons of guns being next to me. And I have no idea what our other friend... Oh, maybe they all changed into the same form, actually. Okay. It's good to know. Blast you. Fortunately, Barbworm's not exactly the end of the world. It's giving me flashbacks to last night. Your Gargoyle Earth Elementalist rip. Oh, sorry to hear it, my friend. They shall be remembered in memoriam of said gargoyle. As we go on. And oh me, oh my. I mean, so far we've been fairly lucky this evening, so I can't complain overall, even though this has been a bit of a nasty case of the Zots here. Still, so far, nothing beyond reasonable expectations for us to deal with. You know, let's make sure we don't take friendly orb of destruction directly to the dome. Fantastic. Died on Zot 5 to a crystal sphere from an ancient lich. The words of terror that we've all seen before. I'm sorry to hear it, my friend. But congrats on getting to Zot 5. I'm trying to remember from, was it just last week that we were seeing it on stream? Maybe 2 weeks ago now. But you were mentioning that you just won with a melee character in the past, right? So is that still, or is that your new record for best spellcaster that you've done, or have you won since then? Regardless, it's always sad to hear. Any character that dies on Zot 5 can be a tough pill to swallow, to say the least. And speaking of, guess where we're about to head. Hopefully not to find ourselves reaching the same fate, but only time will tell. We'll definitely just enchant the crap out of our shield and cloak. Should have actually enchanted this shield earlier. Kind of a missed opportunity for safety there. Almost deserved to die in the interim period here, but that's fine. And an enraged dragon is a bad sight on any given Sunday. Oh, Jesus. Let's definitely take you kiddos on a bit of a hike. Zot Trap, I think. Did it teleport in friends, or did it summon them pro bono here? Recalled. Okay, so it does look like that was just the orb trap that was ruining our lives. That's perfect. You have 1 win, and that was your second best. Okay, congrats though. Nice getting that far. Honestly, that's an achievement in itself. So hopefully the next one makes it through. We had a character down D8 running away with the orb. Got damnationed by some stupid Panlord. Oof. I can sympathize with that. Which character did we just recently die on our orb run with? So we died to, I want to say, like, Seraph. Seraph is the one pretty consistent killer of orb run characters. I like to, not trash talk, but I like to confidently view my odds when making my way up with the orb, and generally that does seem to be the case, but when it happens to go poorly, it definitely can feel that one. Ooh. And speaking of things to be worried and or scared about, got Moth of Wrath with the Quicksilver. That is the dream team, the nightmare team, I guess, is the more apt phrasing in our circumstances here. Regardless, hate to see it. Oh, let's definitely dodge our own friend's orb there, and otherwise we should be in a fairly decent spot. At least until we get to those there lungs, which that will be a whole different ballgame. We do have Polar Vortex, which is a nice amount of, you know, strong AoE damage to kind of take care of a lot of threats. Should do okay even against things like Orbs of Fire, maybe? Does it do less damage against flying monsters? No, I'm thinking of Shatter. So it should do fairly well for us there. Again, Flame Strike would have been nice, not so much for Orbs of Fire, but just as a much more consistent source of, I guess, Control X to just cut all the enemies immediately away, but it is what it is. Let's double check our casting rates. Yeah, everything is looking superb, so no real need to train any spell casting, and we should be on the trek here for the finish, the final leg at the very least. Kind of enjoy dying because new characters are fun to you? That's the spirit. It's no wonder then that you find yourself playing DCSS, because I feel like to a certain extent you need that kind of mentality in order to succeed in the game, but in order to be happy playing this game. Because oh me oh my, many characters shall die. And so many of those are the most promising, the ones that you care about the most. That's when the game seizes on an opportunity to rip it from your grasp. You know, to attribute to malice what is almost assuredly not at all consideration. But regardless, here we find ourselves. And I'm worried that I'm manifesting an eventuality into existence for this character here, because this is a character I very much like and would love to see succeed. But we'll see how it goes, shall we? Only time will tell, and boy, is it ever time to face the music. So let's do this. Okay, let's double check. Oh my gosh, we're in the God Siege. 0 traps? Excuse me? I mean, I know we've made this joke before, but it begs the question. Zot, are you okay? Do you even care about your orb? Just anyone could waltz in here and take back what's theirs. What are we thinking? What are we doing, friend? It almost pains me to see you in such a state of deficiency when it comes to your defenses. I mean, to each their own, and of course I respect the empire you've built upon the backs of many here, but oh boy. Let us be slightly cautious here. We'll lead as many of our new friends back as we can, even with Polar Vortex and a decent amount of firepower to our name. I would hate to bring forth the future that we've been discussing here today. So with that in mind, I shall play it on the safe side here. Fantastic work, Spellforge Servitor, taking care of the Orb of Fire as we retreat, very bravely, I might add. I also do want to take a quick peek. Where are the other stairs here? Because I almost might as well take a look. Yeah, this is all close enough to our intended path for that to be fine. For the longest time you thought both lungs always had traps at the entrances. The game definitely has a habit of making sure that that is indeed the case. So I think that is a more than fair assessment to make. Especially since, yeah, again, more often than not, I do find it to bear out that way. Let us send some orbs at you, my clown friend. Okay, minus potion, not actually too bad on this character, but still something we should take into account. Did I actually get a mutation when I wasn't paying attention? No, okay, so it was just a good old clown pie to the face. As can oft be the case here in Zot 5. I probably also shouldn't move myself in such a way that it provokes the enemies to actively stand on the Zot trap instead of walking towards me in an otherwise more conventional fashion, so whoopsie daisies, but not the end of the world. Oh my gosh, I'm blasting that son of a gun into the trap. Much worse than not learning from my mistakes, I'm proactively making the same mistakes, but way worse. Hurrah. Oh me, oh my. Welp, that should be this first lung. Pretty much dusted. Fantastic. Does seem to be the case. You could, I guess, surround me with new friends. Oh, and you also make way more noise than I expected. So how about that? Speaking of friends being brought into our general vicinity. Oh, and our first Ancient Lich here. So yeah, Crystal Spear definitely, as always, can hit like a truck, so we want to do our best to avoid any face-to-face encounters with that. But looking good from a willpower standpoint. Have corrosion resistance, so all in all, I think we're actually in a decent spot to take care of you. I was about to say, that was probably a great opportunity for me to prep an Orb of Destruction, as the Spellforge Servitor I was pretty sure was going to die in the next turn or so to our Ancient Lich friend. Did end up being the case, no idea what these progenitor sacs are going to create. Oh, Sun Moth? I mean, not too bad in terms of overall damage output, but annoying because anything with energy breath, of course, doesn't care about our fantastic resistances that are looking quite well, thanks. And instead just will ruin our day regardless, so let's be cognizant of that, and then just large volumes of destruction orbs. Take care of the Orb of Fire, no problem. I was thinking about MCC and the fact that the last encounter with Fiery Friends did not end up using our spell in that capacity, but no real need. All of that, yeah, long-winded way to say that who needs it? Who needs MCC? If this was a 15 rune run, which this is one of the rare Djinni runs that I feel like could do it. I don't know if I'd stay with Makhleb. I guess why not? They're serving us pretty well. That would be interesting, but unfortunately, don't have the time for that today, and more aptly, in our journey to try and get these polytheist wins under our belt, there's no need to get too fancy with it. Can always come back another day. Maybe we'll get just as lucky then. And with that, should be basically cleared to the orb. Still could have some friends come in from over yonder. Hello, there we go. Hello, friend. And so let's just make sure taking care of anything that decides to visit us in that capacity. What the heck? Oh gosh, who's walking into all these gosh darn dispersal traps? Sons of guns. Well, very least, Polar Vortex can come and save the day here. You're still alive, right? No? Okay, never mind, I'm losing my mind. Oh, a bit of ill-timed silence. That's also not good, friend. Oh, clowns. Clowns and their general proclivity for adding some amount of excitement here. Okay, and now, for real, I think we're ready to pick up the orb. And let's get out of here. I mean, I barely touched my potions. We're in a pretty decent spot. You know, in before we do just come face to face with Seraph right away, or a Panlord that ruins my entire career, but maybe, just maybe, not today. 4, 5, 6, I think that was enough turns. And adios. Let's try this one. And without further ado, let's get running. So I think we were heading to this stairwell here, if I had to guess, and away we go. Rust Devil comes into view. I'm sorry, my rusty friend. You're not him. Not today. But onwards and upwards. Double check for new mutes. Still sitting at our same old here, which makes sense. We do have resistance to mutation thanks to the Hat of the Alchemist. So that is doing a large amount of the heavy lifting in regards to keeping us safe. We're going to have to just leave that son of a gun right away. And then I'm actually going to wait here and teleport to give us slightly more health. And hello, friends. Please don't torment me. Perfect. I don't even know whose orbs of destruction these are anymore. Oh, you're a Panlord. I was super confused that this was some kind of new ice elemental I'd never seen. A Conjure Ball Lightning can very definitely suck a whole lot. I mean, it does look like you're pretty much already dead. Correction, you are in fact already dead, so never mind. Up to D12 here. And going strong. In fact, do it. Let's not faff about too much. Again, we're already sitting at overtime here. We got the one Panlord killed that I no longer am quite so strict about adhering to that personal rule, but I still enjoy it when that's the case. And hey, Seraph, how's it going? Not today. I refuse to run the risk in the slightest. There's, I mean, also just no need to whatsoever because things are looking good. Onwards and upwards to honor and glory. I almost feel bad for you, my weak little demon friend. Call of the Orb was not something you should have answered, if we're being honest with ourselves and each other. But, more importantly, hell yeah, brother. We've done it. Fantastic. Managed to escape with Makhleb finally, our first Djinni win within this specific challenge set. And it was a pretty fun one overall. We started out with really solid mixture of spells, getting like Starburst and Vile Clutch. First time using Summon Forest was actually a lot of fun, besides the occasional confusion when casting that specifically in Swamp. But today, definitely just sealed in this run. Good old Djimmi here with, yeah, Orb Destruction, Spellforge, Servitor, Capacitive Coupling, Polar Vortex. Like, are you kidding me? I would have been even more embarrassed than usual if I'd somehow managed to pilot this one into a dirt heap. So very happy to make it out in one piece. So without further ado, let's go through, chug a little bit of everything here. Some enlightenment. Have that as an option now. Isn't that exciting? I actually should have done all of my mutation potions first, even though, right, I'm kind of resistant to them, so maybe not the best use of my time. Let's go invisible. Let's get smart, get mightful, and last but not least, drink some ambrosia of the gods and stumble our way the heck out of here, shall we? Fantastic. Oh, GG's to good old Djimmi here. Beautiful. Had Mystic Blast. Win was inevitable. It is true. The Conjurer start, I think, does a lot of the heavy lifting. Again, we have won without a single offensive spell above level 4 before. So, definitely can have to take that into consideration with any Djinni, but we'd somehow managed to fail on all sorts of Djinnis, all flavors and variations. So just happy that Djimmi could be the one to take us there. And that's that. That's our stream for the evening here. Super fun run. Very comfortable at the end there, even with some relatively sketchy situations, specifically in Zot. I almost wish that we had gone back and killed Tiamat, just for the sake of killing them. One of the strongest uniques in the game. Always a good time to take them down a peg, but regardless, very much enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed watching it as well. Of course, huge amount of appreciation for all of you lovely folks. If you're chatting alongside us here, lurking in the background, or hey, if you're watching this down the road through the Twitch VODs or YouTube, then thank you to each and every one of you for joining us on this successful endeavor. Would you look at that? So I think next weekend, unless I happen to have a change of heart, if I somehow manage to pull off the impossible and lose with Djimmi here today, my backup was probably a Hunter of Fedhas. I think I want to revisit that. It's been a while, and that will probably be a Formicid or a Baraki. They're my two favorite hunters currently, but we'll see. No promises. Of course, if you have anything you'd like to see, let me know. Though, of course, if you're watching this YouTube or VODs, then unfortunately, I think this one comes out after that stream, but always welcome the suggestions. So definitely let me know what you'd like to see, and that can be at least our loose framework for what we might participate in next week. But you managed to kill Tiamat and still died to a Lich. Oof, it happens. Because I feel like, especially since you see the unique and all the alarm bells go off, all the red flags are being raised, you're prepared to deal with it. Versus just another enemy, that's where, even on a subtle subconscious level, your guard is put down. At least I know mine is. I won't speak for anyone else, of course, but that's definitely the case for me. And so when I end up getting like a, not even a max roll crystal spear to the face, but just a high roller, it feels bad, man. But it also feels good because you get to start a new run and these things happen. It's all part of the game, part and parcel of the lovely journey that we go through in DCSS, of course. But speaking of courses, we will also do a quick check to see who is live at the moment, who we can send a raid off to finish off our night, maybe, if my laptop cooperates at all. Please, sir. Could bring it up on a computer. I'm just always worried navigating through Twitch randomly that I won't have tabs properly muted, and I don't want to steal even portions of audio from other folks, so yikes, yikes, yikes. Okay, there we go. We've had some small progress on the laptop front, but hold, please. You can do it, buddy. At some point, I need to fix whatever's wrong with this laptop. I use this laptop for DMing, D&D as well, and I have to let it run and be on for a solid chunk of time before it's remotely reactive to the inputs, I guess. Not the words I was originally going for there, but that will suffice. Oh my, oh my. But currently, yeah, it's looking like we'll probably head off Brent's direction. Of course, if you've been here the last while, then you've probably seen Brent before, but if you haven't, I would, as always, strongly recommend sticking around, saying hello. Always a fantastic time there, no matter what they're playing. So, yeah, join the raid, say hello, and let's, speaking of, get that maybe started here, if at all possible. You can do it, laptop. I believe in you. And we can get that started. Fantastic. Well, I guess all of that aside, nice to get another win under the belt here. Looking forward to wherever we decide to, or wherever we end up progressing to next. Of course, yeah, just always a lot of fun. And one day, maybe we'll go back and play those old versions. I was getting a bunch of nostalgia hits as we talked about all that content from back in the day. And while it will probably feel completely unplayable and I'll hate the experience once we actually try and go through with it, sounds like a lot of fun too. So maybe we'll have to try that out, regardless of our many, many dreams for the future and what we hope to accomplish in this mortal coil, this lifetime. That weird ender, but regardless of strange sentences coming out from my mouth here today, I of course do hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you out there. Just remember, folks, we never for a moment, even in the depths of Zot with all odds against us, never didn't have it. I'll see you soon.